On the channel, we've talked a lot about filmmaking essentials and what you need to be a filmmaker, to be a director, to start a video production company, to run a video production company, and create some awesome cinematic content. But I think we've neglected some stuff. One of those things is so important that without it, you can't do anything video related. Do-do-do. Intro. Do-do-do-do-do. Batteries. Batteries are something that is just so not sexy and just not a fun part of filmmaking. You have to charge them, you have to keep them charged, you have to keep them organized, you have to have all different kinds of batteries. You have to have V-mounts, you have to have NPFs, you have to have AA's, AAA's, all kinds of different batteries. So batteries are a super important part of anything video production, filmmaking related. Without batteries, nothing can happen. I see so many people neglect batteries and neglect the way that they keep them organized and charged. I'm big on organization and I like to have every single part of our workflow organized. Batteries are part of your workflow for production. You must have batteries charged and ready to go on production day. Ever since I've been a filmmaker, I have struggled with a battery charging solution. I have tried all kinds of different stuff and I've never just found something that I feel good about and that really works until today. This battery charging wall has gone through a lot of different iterations and a lot of different steps, and I've learned a lot through the process. I've realized what I don't need. I've realized what I need to add on. I've realized how to clean up the cables and everything else. And I'm hoping from this video, you guys can take something away to really streamline and organize your battery charging solution. So without further ado, I'm gonna take you over and I'm gonna walk you through our 2022 battery charging station. All right, so as I mentioned before, a lot of filmmakers neglect the battery charging system that they have, even if they're organized in a lot of different parts of their filmmaking workflow. For us, having a team of multiple people and having a lot of different types of batteries going on, it's super important to have an organized workflow for batteries and to make sure that you keep track of charged batteries and that you can also keep track of what batteries are not charged and what are in the process of being charged. We'll make a separate video going through all of these drawers and cabinets and everything like that. But for the time being, we'll pull out a couple of batteries. It's the wrong cabinet. So I'm gonna walk you guys through this. We're gonna start from right to left. Right side, we have a lot of battery stuff, and then left side, we have more camera build, camera cleaning stuff. So let's check it out. So an important part of any camera battery build, camera battery station is basically assessing what kind of batteries are you using. You have V-mount batteries for all sorts of different cameras, and then you have BPA batteries for Canon cinema cameras, and then you have like LP batteries for Canon mirrorless cameras, and you have NPFs and other types of Sony batteries for Sony cameras. So this is basically our setup over here. We shoot exclusively on Canon, so it's super important for us to have BPA chargers. So we actually just have one BPA charger right here, and then we have another one over on our equipment shelf that can be taken and used on portable shoots and be a portable battery station for when we're there. Basically, we have BPA up here, and then we have two dual chargers for Sony NPF batteries. We use NPF batteries for all sorts of different stuff. We use them to power monitors, we use them to power some of our lights, we use them to power our tear deck and wireless transmitter systems. So there's all sorts of different things that you can use NPFs for, and we have a bunch of them. So it's important to have multiple of these. So one of the most important details that I've struggled with is how to keep these chargers either mounted or organized in a way where they're not gonna fall with the weight of different batteries on them, but they're still removable if, for instance, we get new batteries or we stop using a certain battery, so it's not permanently on there. So I've kind of gone through different iterations. I've used like Gorilla Glue, kind of double-sided sticky tape, and that's pretty permanent. It's pretty hard to get off. But what has worked really well for this is actually just like industrial strength Velcro on both sides. So what I did is figured out where I wanted all the individual chargers to go, and then I would just stick the Velcro on both sides. And that way, if we ever want to move something, if something isn't lined up, if we want to add new stuff, we can pretty easily take the Velcro off and readjust and move it around. It's just on adhesive on both sides, so the adhesive can be peeled off relatively easily, but at the same time, the Velcro is super strong so that even if we have really big batteries on these, it's not gonna pull off the chargers, and they're gonna stay put. So that's one of the biggest things for me, was figuring out a way that we could mount this stuff upright without having to have a very permanent solution of potentially drilling in chargers to the pegboard or having some like super strong adhesive stuff going on the pegboard. So this has worked out really well for us. I'll try and link the Velcro that we used in the description. I think I basically got everything from Home Depot for the most part, and it was honestly pretty inexpensive for the whole build. So going into the cable management a little bit, I've tried all sorts of different things, and I've seen all sorts of different things on YouTube. People drilling into the pegboards and trying to route the cables through the little holes and other stuff like that. And I've definitely tried different things, but honestly for me, what has worked the best is these little zip ties right here. So the zip ties are great because they're inexpensive. You can get a bunch of them, and they're black, so they blend in with everything. And it makes for a really clean setup. It honestly kind of looks like these big staples in there, and you can just basically route the zip ties through the back. And basically what I did was stretched all of the cables one at a time and kind of planned the layout of how everything was gonna go before I started zip tying stuff. Because once you're zip tied in, you're kind of locked into that. I basically stretched everything out, made it look as clean as possible, and then kind of one cable at a time, I would start to zip tie things. Over here, you see that there's a bunch of different cables in here. And so without these zip ties right here, there's at least 4 cables, maybe 5 cables in there. And so that would have been a lot more cluttered, and they'd kind of be all over the place. But with these zip ties right here, with just these 3 zip ties, those cables are super condensed and it looks a lot cleaner. Going to the left here on the bottom, we have a Mavic Air 2S for our drone. And so we have the drone battery charger, and then we also have the drone remote charger that are both kind of connected together. Going down here, we just have a little basket right here that's on via the pegboard. This is typically used for the drone stuff if we're throwing drone batteries in here or the drone remote. It's just a nice place to hold it. Those things are not magnetic, so they can't just stick onto the wall. And so this is just kind of like a little catch basket for that kind of stuff. So moving back up here, we have our kind of core power strip. This power strip is actually going right into this workbench here. The workbench comes with actually a power strip built into itself. So that power strip is plugged into the wall, and then this power strip is plugged into the workbench. It kind of makes it a little bit more organized and helps with cable management. You want to have something that has plenty of like normal plugs for stuff, but then at the same time, you also want to have USB. A lot of battery chargers, especially for video production and batteries, they can be USB powered. So otherwise it would just go into a block like your iPhone block or something like that. But if they do have a USB option, why not take advantage of it? So this is a lot cleaner than having multiple plugs in the normal plugs here. We have a lot more available space with those plugs for other stuff that comes in. I basically decided on what was gonna go where based on like cable management and organization and how cables were gonna look clean, and where they would be best. For the BPA charger and some other chargers, there's kind of these big plugs. And so having really big plugs on here is gonna kind of clutter it. So basically we have most of our stuff plugged into here, but also we have other things running back that are plugged into the power strip for the workbench. Moving over here on the bottom, we use Aperture MC lights as little RGB panel lights basically. And so we have 2 of these. These are just simple USB-C chargers. So they're mainly for MCs, but also they can be used for different things as well. The good thing about the MCs is that they're magnetic. They have magnetic backings. So when we're charging them, we actually just throw them right on this pegboard back here that is metal, and they'll just stick there and charge up. Below that, we have a Quasar. It looks like it's a micro USB charger. So this is for our Quasar tube light. Back of the Quasar tube is magnetic, and so it's super great to be able to just throw those right on the panel and not have to worry about, putting them somewhere else on the table. Big thing for us is keeping this table clean. We'll get to this in a second, but this is also a camera build station. So it's nice to have this clean for, organization when we're building out cameras, getting lenses, all sorts of different stuff like that. So coming over here up to the top, this is another bigger basket. Essentially, this basket is our uncharged battery basket. So when we're coming back from shoots, we have all different types of batteries that aren't charged. And typically, we're gonna have more batteries that are not charged than we have slots available to charge the batteries. So what we'll do is unload the batteries first off, throw all the batteries that we can charge onto the chargers, and then any additional batteries that still need to be charged but are not available for the slots, we will put in here. And essentially with this basket, no matter who it is, they know that these batteries are not charged, and as soon as one of those batteries on the chargers is good to go, we'll put that away, and then we'll move the remaining batteries onto those chargers. So this is a nice organized system. Again, I'm big with having a team. It's important to make sure that there's no miscommunication between people, and so having a very kind of like clear system is important for us. All right, so like I mentioned, this is kind of a hybrid workbench for battery charging, but then also camera build and camera cleaning. So having everything on this pegboard off of the table and also being able to have this entire table clean was super important for me. So we're gonna get into some of the camera build and camera cleaning stuff now. Right here, we just have a magnetic tool strip that I think I got from Home Depot. It's magnetic on both sides. So again, going with that concept of having sturdy stuff mounted on here, but also stuff that you can remove or readjust if you want to. So this is super nice. I'll try and link it in the description if I can find it. Basically on this, we have sort of all of the tools that are important for assembling camera cages, assembling cameras, putting on tripods, so on and so forth. So we have a couple different size Allen keys right here for different types of camera cage things and mounting monitors and everything else. And we also have a couple stubby flathead screwdrivers right here. Those are great for putting on tripods, putting on different camera accessories. And then we have a couple different screwdrivers. We have this cool little, I don't even know what this is really. It came with our Rode Blimp, I believe, but it actually it's kind of like a very small Allen key, and it comes in handy for those tricky, delicate items. A couple other screwdrivers, a pair of pliers right here, and then a wrench. The wrench is kind of something that we don't use too often, but when something is really stuck on a tripod or stuck on a camera, that's great to kind of muscle it off. So kind of moving over here now, this last section is more camera cleaning stuff. So this is something that I'm pretty proud of. It's a very simple design, but I'm super proud of kind of how it works out. So essentially what this is a Rocket little air duster for cleaning lenses and cleaning camera sensors and all kinds of stuff like that. And I wanted to have a way where, again, it's off the table, but it's still super easily accessible. You can just pull it down and use it. So what I did is got one of these name tag badge sort of holders on Amazon. It has a little keychain clip down there, and then it has a carabiner at the top. And then the way that I mounted it to the pegboard is, again, just used one of these little zip ties. Works out great. It kind of makes a little hook that you can put it on. And so this is out of the way, but at a moment's notice, you can pull it off and dust the camera. And then when you're done, it just goes back up. You don't have to worry about putting it away or anything like that. So super proud of that one. So lastly, we have a couple of these magnetic sort of storage pieces. I think I got these from Home Depot as well. And so with this one, we just have it mounted onto our camera cabinet because it's metal. And again, keeping stuff off the table. Originally, I kind of had the stuff in the corner here, and it wasn't too bad, but I really wanted to go with that completely cleared off workbench top so that we have as much space as possible. So with this, we have a duster. Again, this is just like a sort of pressurized duster that we can use for sort of more intense dusting than that, and also when we're not dusting super delicate stuff. And then we have different types of cleaning stuff over here. We have some of these camera sensor cleaners and lens cleaner. We are in the process of getting some Pancro lens spray, other stuff like that. And then we have Kimtech wipes for cleaning different types of like lenses and kind of delicate stuff. These are great. If you don't have them, you should definitely have them in your camera kit. A lot of people in the film industry use them to clean cameras. Lastly, moving back over here, this is another one of those little magnetic organizers that we have. And so basically with this, we just have a bunch of different types of pens, Sharpies, highlighters, and scissors in there. A lot of times before we're going out on shoots, we'll be basically marking different types of tape for different things. So like for DIT, we'll be writing out a bunch of card numbers and stuff like that we can get ready for us. So this is kind of just a general thing that, you know, if we need any type of pen or Sharpie or anything like that, then we can use that. And same with the scissors. We're always cutting stuff up, so they come in handy. All right, guys, so with that is our sort of updated 2022 camera battery station and also camera build cleaning station all in one. I've gone through many iterations over the years and trying different things. And like I said in the beginning, I had yet to find something that really worked out well and was organized and everything else until this. I've had it for a couple months now, still super happy with it. As we add new batteries on, we still have space to add stuff. And like I said, nothing is super permanent. So if we need to move stuff around and make more space, we totally can. I'll throw a before and after photo up so you can kind of see like what it looked like before with the battery stuff and then what it looked like after. I was kind of just grinding through it for a couple hours and I got it done. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you can take little bits and pieces of it and apply it to your own battery build station and everything else. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.